Niecy Nash is gay. Shout out to Mary Cherise who put that in the chat. That's the only reason why I know. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, come here, yeah. Freedom, freedom, where are you? Because I need freedom too. The agenda. The agenda has been born. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the episode 3 LoveCraft Country HBO new series Dissection. We are back on Monday nights, no longer on Tuesday, as I May Destroy You is it's over. It's over. So, being that Lovecraft Country comes on Sunday nights, we will be here every Monday at 6 p.m. EST, just like the old days. Remember when we was dissecting Insecure? Remember all the way back then, back yonder, we was down here on Monday? We back to our original time slot, which I'm enjoying. A Monday is cute. Monday is cute. Okay. I see all of y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I do want to shout out my girl CJ. And I'm shouting her out for two reasons. Number one, she's always here and she's always supportive and she's always very active. However, YouTube has a glitch where some people cannot comment. So now I'm wondering how many people cannot comment. And CJ is a patron. Money talks. Okay, the financial support, it talks. But if you guys can't chat in here, please find me on Instagram in the DMs. I do respond at JustLatasha. Hit me in the DMs or on the mentions on Twitter, JustLatasha404. I do respond if it's a cute thing y'all say. Because one thing I'm not is a liar. I'm not a liar. So I will respond if you kept it cute. Okay. A ton of my patrons are here in the room. Shout out to y'all. I do see you. Mara Cherise is here. I think Ellie Luna's going to join. LB is here as a patron. I see y'all. Man, so many cool people in here. I see y'all. What's up? Patreon.com/JustLatasha. Now, if you're not a patron, you're probably wondering why we're starting from episode 3. Well, I've been saying it. If you're not following me on social media, you may have missed it. If you don't see my YouTube community post, you may have missed it. But my patrons have access to episode 1 and 2. If you feel a little off kilter because you ain't have a 1 and 2 dissection, that means you got to go over to be a patron for $5 tier, access the video content, and then come back here and catch up to be on what we on. Cool. I also am gearing up for a sketch comedy series called JustLatasha's Interactions, which is the first series that I'm starring in. I've written 2 other ones, Sit Black and Relax, 2 seasons of that, working behind the camera with the funnies in the scripts. This is the first time I'm going to be on camera. The show is featuring Dustin Ross of The Friend Zone, featuring Mandy B of Horrible Decisions, featuring Jameer Pond of BuzzFeed Cocoa Butter, featuring my boy Decent from Pop Dust, where we used to do We Shall Overchug, our sponsor, Pop Dust. So I'm really excited for that, and it's also scaring the shit out of me. Okay. Without further ado, Soraya patron, without further ado, Yaya's a new patron. I see y'all. Thank you so much for throwing the hearts up in the room. A Barty, a patron, making me die laughing yesterday on our exclusive stream. Y'all, whew. Let's do it. Episode 3, Holy Ghost. And holy smokes! Huh? I see y'all in the chat saying y'all couldn't sleep last night. It had me do the Bill Cosby dip. I said, ain't no ghost in here. Ain't no ghost in this room. I had to check. Well, let's start with our girl who came to act, how Mara Cherie said, came to perform. Okay, I see y'all in the chat. What's up? Let's start with an opening shot. Y'all know I gets going for an opening shot. I was about to say something worse. I had to tone it down. All right, I gets going for an opening shot, and we open with a woman facing the cross, attuning to the cross. compared against a Letty, emotionless, void, right? The only thing she can muster out is a tear, and we can assume it's from the death of Uncle George, from the overwhelming experiences. She's trying to make it through another day, right? And we have this incredible poem performed by Precious Ebony. This was a poem featured in Nike's Be True campaign. And she asks, which angels gave you their wings? Which skies have you flown? And when you reached the heavens, who was there to catch you when you fell? Go ahead, Lay, fly. Where do they find this goodness? Where do they find it? Huh? Where do they find it? And it sounds like she's saying "le" just specifically for LaTisha motherfucking Lewis. And we remember, my patrons will remember, back in episode 2 when we dissected it, this is exactly what Dora, Teek's mom, the love of George, Uncle George's life. This is exactly what the ghost of Dora told George. Don't you want to fly with your children? So let me tell you what else this reminded me of. The mirrors. The mirrors are here. The mirrors are here. Episode 2, when Uncle George reflected the identity of Atticus, who put his body on a cross to make the sacrifice for the everlasting life of LaTisha, and he tried to do it for George, but George didn't make it out. Atticus making the sacrifice, George didn't make it out, right? Look at these mirrors. Ooh, this title card, beautiful. There is haunting in the root. There is haunting in the root. Well, let's talk about it. Where did we all begin? We began with pioneering with Letty and a group of Negroes moved into a house moving on up the north side of Chicago in 1955. And they said pioneering is dangerous. Pioneering, being the first to explore new ideas and new methods. Now, we have to start thinking about, who was this a threat for? Who was it dangerous for? Who was it dangerous to be the first for? Because yesterday, episode 2, we were celebrating Whitey on the moon. The first people to be on the moon. Whitey on the moon. It was an advancement. It was an honorary action. And now we come here with pioneering being dangerous. That's a flip side. Right? Pioneering is dangerous. Is this a threat for Letty? Or is it for some other folk? Well, let's find out. Let us find out. Y'all not even talking to me at this point. I see y'all in the chat going to each other. That's great. I love community. That's great. It ain't got to be about me all the time. Day 1, a month later after the funeral and the death of Uncle George, Letty celebrates buying a home as a repayment for all of the favors Ruby gave her. And hopefully this house will be the new journey where these sisters can come together, soothing that emotional wound between them, soothing that tension and that friction between them. But hold up, what color we see, y'all? If y'all are new to my dissection series, you know the color red means caution, hold up, danger, wounds, pain, passion. So even though this is a celebration, the house is sold, Letty came into some new money, that sign said, hold up. Now, ooh, ooh, right? Look at this house. Look at this house. An utter reflection of Letty. It's void. It's without life. She has to work to put some in it, to make it presentable and inhabitable. She has to work to get the house up to par. This is something that we need to really, really, really be attend to. So I kind of said, it's red. Something that we really have to attend to, right? Let's not forget, Letty died in Artem. It's going to be very important. Letty died in Artem. And she won't tell Ruby where she got the money from. And Ruby's out here just killing the goddamn vibe. Look, Letty, you living in a whole fantasy. We're in the middle of a racist, dangerous town. So how the heck you imagine this is going to be a safe haven for Black people when we have literally a target on the block? How? We have to decide if we're going to be Letty or Ruby as Black folk. We have to decide quickly. We have to decide quickly. Is this our mindset? Does it take delusion to find joy in this world? Is not the world, this town for Black folk? Are we not always a moving target? To be as happy and as celebratory as Letty is, does it take a bit of delusion? And Ron said, that house is not a home. A Barty said, I would have never went in that house. Listen, you couldn't have got me. You couldn't have got me there. I don't know if the rent was cheap. I might have went. It's a bragging right too. It's clout. They like clout back then, didn't they? But there's something that happens in the house. Letty almost gets decapitated by the moving elevator. Don't know which way it's going. Right? The home has a wound. We'll get back to it. I'm not doing it to y'all. It's too early. It's too early. We got a lot of work to do tonight. It's too early. Don't forget I said it. If you are new to the dissections, I have mentioned this several times about mirrors, how they can reflect, how they can separate identity, how they can create masks for our character, what they have to perform, the mask that they wear compared to the truth that also exists. And so we have here Hippolyta in front of this mirror, mourning the death of her husband, Uncle George. Damn, I miss my Uncle George, y'all. We have her playing a role, just trying to keep the house together, still having to be a mother. Still, she's wearing that mask, right? Just trying to get through the day. But she, something ain't right. Something's not right. She feels different, right? She feels different. And we have here Uncle George's favorite book, Black Dracula, angrily ripping page after page after page. Now, let me tell you something about grief. Before you can dive into like the depths of the sadness, it's anger first. Anger is a surface level emotion. Anger is what you can do easily. Because what's under anger is one of those like the feelings you don't want to feel. It's like fear, shame, sadness, those things that get a little more mucky. Anger is easy. Somebody get angry, that's easy. And her in this color red, but this coral type of red, right? Showing a wound, but showing a danger. Because I hypothesize from Hippolyta, this anger might have a purpose, but we just have to wait to see what that is. We have to wait to see what that is. So here we go. I want to break down the visual. Everybody say I when you put the director's glasses on. Say I. Because we got to put our director glasses on right here. Let me know when you got them. Where's my glasses? Let me see some sunglasses in the chat. Where the hell are my glasses at? I'd be fired if I had some. I think I threw them all out. They don't fit my face. Let's put our director glasses on. Dora versus the family. Look how disconnected she is. She ain't on the same side of the wall. She's not experiencing the joy of that sunshine. I see y'all. We got A, I, right? And she's literally standing amongst a void. Look at that big gaping hole behind her, directly aligned in front of the bedroom she shared with Uncle George. Well, when he's gone, something's missing in this house. Something truly is missing. Let's look at these colors. We have red, which we spoke about. We have neutral white. Look, what's this baby's name? Because I thought it was Dora. Am I bugging? Is this baby's name not Dora? D, the daughter here, naive, pure, childish, neutral, sitting right in between the two, like, look, daddy's gone, but we gonna make it. We gonna make it. I thought the baby's name was Dora. Shenandoah says, Diana. Where did I get Dora from? Because episode 1, no? And then here I did hear Hippolyta call her Diana. It's Diana. Okay. Because look, I thought Uncle George named his daughter Teek's mom name, and I said, niggas ain't shit. I wish you would name my baby after your true love's name. I'm going after everybody. All right. See, some of y'all are saying, okay, it's D. Let's go with D. It is Diana. It's Diana. Because I heard Hippolyta call her Diana in here. So I was like, okay. Versus green, which we spoke about when we did the episode 1 dissection, when Teek wears green. This is representative of his veteran Army hero status, right? He has served for his country. That anger versus the neutral versus the hero, right? And Teek got a little, his spidey senses is going. I'm mixing universes here. His spidey senses is going. He's feeling that coldness from Hippolyta. Is he knows this place here, it don't fit no more, right? AKA, get out of my house. It's giving, get out of my house. There's tension from Hippolyta. Look, every time I look at you, you remind me of how my husband is no longer here. And you're not him. We found a wound in this home. He don't flip the cups upside down upright. He don't flip the cup down after he washed them. Why would you put them up and the water sit at the bottom? You're supposed to turn them over. That's what George would do. Get out of my house. Said, I think you better leave. Get the hell on. Get your step in. Y'all don't know that song. Y'all don't know that song. Well, Teek tries to leave. He tries to live with his daddy. And what I really loved about this is how physically far apart these characters are. And this is very representative of their emotions. They do not relate. They do not see eye to eye. There's so much in between there. This home has a wound as well. That train got to rumbling, didn't it? Hold everything down. That train got to rumbling when they was mad at each other. That home has a wound too. And Montrose, in the epitome of his drunkenness, recites George's favorite story that went a little something like this. A magic man with a bat like Jackie Robinson saves some Black boys from racists. And Teek says, they hit home runs on all their heads, saving you. We could have used that stranger in Artem. See, here's the thing. This is why Montrose don't want to fight. We done seen wizards and snakes in the pants and invisible shields. We done seen too much, right? So not only do they have the supremacy for them, but they got magic too. See, we here talking about tales, telling stories with each other about somebody we thought was magic, but those are just tales. They actually have literal magic on their side. Fight what and for who? Fight who? I don't know about y'all. I can't speak for all Black folk. I be feeling like that today. I feel like I'm feeling helpless. I'm in over my head, right? I can't show up to a protest when you bring in a tank. What am I, like, what fight? But we got to do it. We have to do it. Day 2, the threat arrives. Racist is on the block, and we gonna give y'all some hell. And not only are we gonna give you hell, ain't nobody you could call. The police are on our side, and we out here chilling, bricks on horns. What's up? Well, day 5 brings us somewhere. And Letty is an undesirable, most famous by y'all president. That term, undesirables. Letty is undesired by not one, but 2 forces. Look at that dead, chopped hand. She is undesired by both racists and the haunted ghosts in her home. Look, it's two wars. Two wars, right? She finally meets the haunting in the roots, discovers banging and voices in the basement, below the basement, the sub basement, the 2-level basement. There's something down there. This part was magic. This was magic. Let me tell y'all why. Tick is unrealized. Y'all, Tick is unrealized. Back in his daddy's house, he was asking for some mysterious stranger to come with a bat and save the day. He is what he's been asking for. I don't know if y'all listen to any of the interviews that I do. I'll be visiting some people's podcasts and doing interviews and all that stuff. But one of the things I like to end the podcast and say, there's usually like a last question, like if you could give advice to yourself, if you could tell yourself, so shout out to the Oprah Rose podcast, shout out to Jeff J's podcast, Pass the Message, shout out to Mandy B's new podcast, Period Sis. I've said this on these 3 podcasts. You are the answer you've been looking for the entire time. And I think a lot of us, when we're searching for identity and we're searching for value, we look externally. We're looking for the job to confirm us, the money to confirm us, the religion to confirm us, the body and the beauty to confirm us, the clout to confirm us. Look who I'm next to up in the club swapping ideas when really you just walked up to the master to take a pic. But we're looking for these things to confirm us. And you don't realize you was over there. It was right here. The hero with the bat arriving to save the day. Look, okay? Stardust says, who you seek to be is never outside of you. I don't know who said that, but it was good. Look, you remembered it. It must have been good. You remembered it. Real Trini says, yes, you are the parent to your inner child. Woo! That's it. Heal it. I ain't gonna lie to you. It would have been some goings on in that sub-level basement. It would have been some goings on. But here's some unspoken trauma. They have literally, Tick and Letty have never spoken about what had happened in Artem. They just moved on. And this is the pattern that we do as Black people, right? We experience something dark and traumatic and heavy, and we just go. Don't talk about it. Don't acknowledge it. Don't say it. And we hold that and just maneuver this world as these void beings. And Tick says something here. They use excessive heat and noise as a tactic in Korea. His side, not Korea doing it to them. His side did it. Letty was like, for what? So y'all remember this past summer, in the thick of the summer, them damn fireworks. Torture tactic. Torture tactic. Heat and constant noise. And we saw Letty wake up. Look how soaked she is. We saw her wake up with that radiator going off, furnace going off, hot, with the horns outside. A war tactic. Okay, I said, not the goings-ons. Look. A war tactic. I can keep going, but we have things to attend to. Let's attend to the show. Day 8, it's a shindig, y'all. We down to the house party. Y'all get y'all good shoes on. Let's go. So we meet Hippolyta and Letty, who are sharing a story. But before we get there, this show dragged Dr. Martin Luther King down to the hedge line because I never knew he had a white girlfriend. Partygoers were having a conversation about the new preacher in town who's going to be the start of a revolution. Was it Michael? No, it's Martin. who was engaged to the white woman, and they made him marry a black woman. I had to look it up. I said that to myself earlier, no more broken. I can't imagine living in these times. I couldn't imagine. But Martin Luther King was with a white woman. So I looked it up, and there's a book called what? Bearing the Cross. And Martin Luther King Jr. had to leave his white girlfriend, who he was over the head in love, enamored with, Betty Moitz. And leaving her left him heartbroken. Got him a Coretta Scott. But that Betty Moitz. Look at these men. News to me. Ron said, I mean, Martin did cheat on Coretta with a white. Okay. How could, you know what? We don't have the time. So they got food. Hippolyta is bringing off this food, and this is just showing you the level of community it takes for Black people to have had survived in this time. They have to take care of each other. These are all the leftovers her community brought her for going through the grief of losing her husband. She can't fit it down to her icebox. And Letty did something that triggered her a little bit. She was like, let me guess, Teak reminds you of George? She was like, no. She don't admit it. She don't say it. But she does resent, right? There's tension, there's resentment, there's anger, and it's for Tick. Because you came back and my man didn't. Shout out to those of y'all. Mara Sharice tagged me last night. Someone else tagged me last night in this tweet. Diana and her friends is down playing with a Ouija board. And it was brought to my attention, this tweet, when you realize this little boy was playing Emmett Till before he went on his trip down south. This is why the spirit from the Ouija board didn't say he would enjoy his tip. He asked the Ouija board, this boy, will I have a good time on my trip? Ouija board said, no. Ugh. Let's talk about this Ouija board. Let's have a discussion about this Ouija board. Now I saw tweets was like, Black people wouldn't be playing with no Ouija board. And we feel like that as a community, like Ouija board, that demon stuff, that's for white people. That's for white people. But you gotta, let's think about it. Let's sit in it just for a minute. Ouija board is speaking to the dead. It's connecting with the dead. And this is because our spiritual lineage and our spiritual heritage was shamed and tortured and beaten out of us when we got here. Black people from the continent of Africa spoke to the dead, did their magic work, hoodoos and the voodoos, and when they were transatlantic slave trade happened on their bodies and on their lives and experiences, that was shamed and beaten out of them, and we were given the Bible instead. This game has essentially bastardized the essential way to connect with the dead, which is a power and not a shame. You see all these new witches, I'm one. You see all these new witches speaking to the ancestors, making altars, giving crystals, water, food, flowers. You see the resurgence of connecting back to spirituality. Speaking to the dead is not a bad thing. And we have to be conscious of how we learned that it was a bad thing. Speaking to the dead is not for white people only. I'll leave y'all with that. But this motherfucking spirit is talking about something, spelling out George is dead. I will slap you in the teeth. Are you playing with me? Are you playing with me? DJ says, that blew my mind. I had that game when I was young, and it's really not something to play with ever. So serious. All right. See, don't play the game, but do speak to your people. Do speak to the people that has passed on. It don't got to be this. But don't let this deter you from doing the magic work that can help and connect. Morally grayish says, I don't mind communing with spirits, but I do need to know who's on the other side. And one of her friends asked her, who are we speaking to? Smart kid. Very smart. And it spells out George is dead. And like Dora, like her, like not Dora, excuse me, Diana, like her mother, shows grief in the form of anger. We're ready to slap people and see, what the hell is this now? Hippolyta finds a door, and one of the partygoers, just a scene before, said, or not, when they were all moving in at the top of the show, one of the residents said, there's a door up here that's locked. It opened for her, unlocked itself. Intrigued, right? The ornate orrery, model of our solar system. We don't know what it is yet, but Hippolyta likes it. If she like it, I love it. Let's move on. Is you is or is you ain't my baby? Let me tell you something. All these men were vying for Letty. They wanted her so bad. Flirty, sensual, right? There's an energy in the room. Tika's up here mad. In the room, angry, scrunching his face. Let me tell you something about niggas, these niggas. Let me tell you something about these niggas. Only wanting to possess women. This man has got her attention. His old friend came up and said, I used to hit on that back in the day. We used to get down to the 100 back in 89, 39. I don't know. And this is when Tick wants to have. Now he wants to have. I'll tell you something about these niggas. I don't know if he wanted his woman, Ron. I think he wanted to possess his woman. He wanted to keep. Letty seeing both a haunted spirit and an Atticus. We are not talking about ghosts as much as we're talking about haunted spirits. And each character right here, right now that we're looking at, each character is looking to set something in their souls free. All three of them haven't yet met the healing required to set that haunted spirit free. Letty's body died. Letty died in Artem. Tick's spirit died in Korea. And the gag is, it was right in front of our face the entire time. We've seen him be haunted by whatever happened in Korea since episode 1. He is haunted. Letty is haunted, right? We know what red means. Using a surface level of healing, an instant gratification to soothe the haunting of their wounds and trauma. And both have used pleasure to hide it. Oh, the deflection from grief. The deflection from grief. We learned something incredible about Ruby, self-prejudice. Somebody said, I think you ain't getting hired down to the department store because you're colored. And she said, nah, because if I just tell them I work harder than everybody else, I'm going to be fine. All I got to do is fix my resume. All I got to do is work hard. She's giving bootstrap. Bootstrap? Well, if you work hard enough and you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you're going to make it and it'll be the American dream. If you just work hard. Ruby subscribes to the bootstrap mentality. And she says more Black people should be thinking like her so they can move further along. Look at you, one of your handout negress. You ever heard Black people say, oh, people just, they saying it now about the stimulus check. If you was working hard, you wouldn't need no stimulus check. It's too many teeths to slap. Too many teeths. And with this victim mentality, with this self-blaming, self-prejudice, bootstrap mentality, her own race is her cross to bear. You dare blame yourself and your people for the environment and the predicament that you in, that's your cross to bear. You're gonna have to get over that hump. And we have one of the themes of this episode. All characters are being made to pay for their flaws and their sins, right? Look what she's paying for. You bought that house. You got to pay for it. Look at this. Let's real quick talk about the angry Black woman. James said, not the teeths. Oh, Shenandoah. Letty was a virgin for so long because she didn't want to become her mama. Put a pin in it, Shenandoah. I'm coming back to you. Put a pin in it. Let's talk about the angry Black woman. It is so easy to blame us for being angry, but did anybody ever ask why? You know, I was reading Twitter last night, and they said, someone said, I don't like the way they portray the few dark-skinned women that they do have. I don't like the way they portray them. They portray them as angry. We're literally watching Letty, the light-skinned Letty, break windshields and mirrors and throwing bricks. We've watched her do a high-speed chase. We've watched her hit racists in the head with the back of the gun. We've watched her be violent and angry. I think your colorism jumped out. And I'm going to tell you why. Ruby is angry. Number one, it's justified. You see Ruby reacting to her boundaries not being respected. And you see Ruby reacting to being hurt and being played yet again by her sister, who keeps coming into town whenever she feels like and doing whatever she wants at Ruby's expense. But Ruby don't pipe up. Ruby's big and dark and mad. Letty, we've seen her be violent and angry. So why did you think Ruby was angry, but you failed to mention how angry Letty was? Is it because she's light-skinned, pretty, and skinny? You can watch her do all this, and for some reason you don't think you don't label her the angry Black woman, but yet this is the Ruby mindset. I don't like the way that they portray dark-skinned Black women as angry, but you're literally calling Ruby angry and not Letty, who's showing you the maximum anger. Yeah, I see that jib jab, jib jab, jib jab. Y'all seen it? Look. Okay. KS said, I love when Letty busted out those windows. DJ said, of course, people don't care to ask why. They don't care enough to ask why Black women are angry. Oh, they got their shotguns. They was behind her 100%. Y'all absolutely right. Y'all are absolutely right. Letty goes for a rough ride. The police intentionally harming her, taking her way down to the station. And let's not forget the community, right? It was a plan. The way the community brought food for Hippolyta when she lost George. The community came together in a plan. No one even had to say a word. Men got the shotguns. Ruby got the getaway car. Letty did what she wanted to do. And a wonderful Black woman brings Letty a blazer to go to jail in. You might be cold later here. Without a word. You see community? Whew. The last time we seen a rough ride. Yeah, Letty is angry. No more broken birds. Last time we see the rough ride, it was actually in our real life was by Freddie Gray, right? Remember Baltimore? The murder of Freddie Gray, who was being transported in a police van, and he fell into a coma and died April 19, 2015, and his death was due to injuries to his spinal cord. Rough rides are happening on this side of our generation, right? And this cop in the van reveals some information to her. Who the hell gave you money to buy the Winthrop house? My patrons know we spoke about Winthrop yesterday on the exclusive stream. Winthrop on that painting frame in Artem in the mansion. Titus Braithwaite, Horatio Winthrop, 2 houses under the son of Adam. And this captain is like, you don't even know what the hell is in that house. There's bodies in the basement. It's haunted. It's ghosts. And he estimates that she will be the next Black body. See, the thing about white supremacy is that it curates our deaths. It can predict our deaths because they made the system. I know exactly where you're going to end up because this is the way I planned it. Whew. Whew. Day 9. A ghost reveals himself to Letty. Get out of my house, right? Letty's freaked out. Tenants moving out. You're doing too much. I don't know what's going on. Letty tells Ruby that her mama left her the inheritance. Ruby didn't know that. Here we find our second theme of this episode. Do we tell our loved ones the truth, or do we keep them in the dark because it's safer? Which is the safer option, for you to know or for me to hide it? Tick and Montrose don't tell Hippolyta about George, and Montrose said, let it die with the bodies under that lodge. As we're seeing here, there's bodies under this house. The roots are haunted, right? Montrose doesn't tell Tick about who his real daddy is. George doesn't tell Hippolyta about his other love, Dora. All of it, right? Tick don't tell nobody about what happened in Korea. He tried, didn't do it. Ruby dragged this girl down to her romance roots, down to the romance curl. Letty is selfish, paying for these sins. This is her cross to bear. Did she ever consider how her actions would affect others? I'm gonna bring it down to lemonade. I'm gonna do y'all one better. You look nothing like your mother. You look everything like your mother. One day you wake up and you realize you your mama. Oh. You be so mad at your parents, and then you them. Don't be haunting my chat, Britt Ellen. I'm just kidding. She said the system is on it. The whole goddamn system is on it. Letty's fight with these races affects her tenants, and it affects Ruby's money, right? We find the haunting of Letty. Ruby says, you buried your guilt for doing what you always do. Look for yourself. You buried your guilt. Oh, that's the haunting of Letty. Last month, her body died. This month, her spirit did. This is the haunting. Let me tell y'all something about spirit. Montrose and Hippolyta have a talk in Uncle George's bookstore. And Lita tells him, what you told me, something don't feel right. It don't feel right. Sometimes your spirit speaks. What we call that, ladies? Intuition. What we call that? That's intuition. That's when your spirit speaks to you. Here's been the gag. And if you was paying attention, you caught it. You are everything you need already. If y'all think white people got magic, guess what we got? We got magic too. It's in here. I know y'all lying. How does she, with no proof and being right? Because when spirit speaks, look, when spirit speaks, James said, sorry, but I couldn't help but to think about colorism when the mother left Letty the money. However, I'm sure it was for a different reason. It was giving Jackie Christie. Absolutely. That was an old Basketball Wives reference. Absolutely. That's exactly what I thought about too. If the mother's only leaving her, the one who don't even do good by her money, it's giving favoritism due to color. And women are good for that. I don't think we've ever seen Ruby and Letty's mom. We don't even know what color she is, but that happens in the household. Absolutely, James. Absolutely, James. Let's move on. We got so much information here. Who the hell is Winthrop? Again, the sons of Adam. We have a tweet here that was really cool. If you watch tonight's Lovecraft Country, a notable piece of history, Anarcha, Lucy, Betsy were the names of the 3 enslaved women James, Marion Sims experiment on while developing modern gynecology. So the story tells us that the previous owner of the Winthrop house, through the Letty's maniacal research, was the previous house owner who experimented on disappeared Black residents of the South Side and buried them in that room below the basement. This is extended from real life events. The scientist, the doctor, James Marion Sims, who researched without anesthesia on Black women, right? And people all over this nation have been calling for his monuments to be removed. You are torturing Black women's bodies for research. And we are still literally using the tools and the procedures that this man was doing as tests. We're still using it in today's gynecology. And I'm thinking of why they named this fictional character Epstein. And I'm like, Epstein? Remember the US financier Jeffrey Epstein, who has been found dead in his prison cell while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. The haunted spirit of the United States of America. Sex trafficking. There is bad blood in this land soil. I don't know if I had to be the one to tell you that. I don't know if I had to be the one to tell you that, right? I'm like, why did they use Epstein? Why did they use the Epstein last name? This doctor, Hiram Epstein, knew the cop that took Letty for a rough ride, and he was given a reward. He was a hero for breaking down organized crime when he's the participant of organized crime. Ooh, Mika's Wisdom says Jordan Peele also threw in Get Out, using our body parts for medical experience and for medical advancement. Jordan Peele did a lot of Get Out in this series. Look, he's the executive producer, which AKA means he just threw the money at the thing and put his name on it. But low key, I feel like he'd be in the room because it's a lot of Get Out in here. I see the same thing. I see the same thing you see. Yes. These are the faces of the ghosts. When Letty was taking pictures of all her tenants in the beginning of the show, they were also being photographed with these ghosts. And Letty, back to that internal magic, that magic, they went out. I know it. Ain't no proof of that, but it's in her spirit. And a man like Atticus listened to her. Didn't gather. He disagrees. He said if Uncle George is here, he'd be telling you that it ain't no haunted house. He just wants to present some kind of grounded truth to her, but he's there and he don't call her crazy and he don't dismiss it, and he shows up. He shows up, right? This is the same magic Tick had in the beginning. He was like, Hippolyta didn't say it, but she want me out of this damn house. You know it. You know it. Let's talk about Letty's death. Let's talk about Letty's death, y'all. Saying she's been a ghost in her life. I needed to feel something. Remember how void she was in the beginning, that woman of the church bearing herself to the cross. I needed to feel something, right? And since her and Tick buried their trauma of that experience in Arden, like the ghost in her house, it wants out. She says to him, honestly, since I've been back, I felt like a ghost, like something's missing, and I keep grasping at everything, trying to avoid it. The church, they was dancing, giving praise, high glory. That's maximum joy. She couldn't feel it. My sister, come on in, move home. Let's bond. Let's do something. It didn't work. They ain't even talked since they had sex a few days ago. This is supposed to be the true love, the love of your life. They ain't even talk. You see how Tick moved? When the men wanted her, all of a sudden he took it. But after that, he just went outside. We're seeing the awakening of Letty when she says, I can't live in fear. I won't. Each episode, she has used one phrase, and it's, I'm terrified. She has said that in every episode. Here she says, I can't live in fear. I won't. I got to face this new world head on and stake my claim in it. Let me tell y'all something. When your soul sleeps, it's because it don't have purpose yet. She has to help the ghosts in her home because they want out. And when she decides that there's a purpose to live for, when she decides there's a healing to be done there, when she decides to move on a journey, hold on to it. Hold on. We'll be back. Maya says one of the writers compared Letty to Dracula. Beautiful observation. Jem Jerica says Letty has been on the other side. She has the shining now. Maybe that answers a question I have later. Hold on to it. Are we almost through? Exorcise your demons. There's still so much shame around Black spirituality. To do the hoodoo and the voodoo and the exorcism and the Black witch work, there's still so much shame around it. But it shouldn't be. Let's talk about the blood. We remember seeing blood from Letty's body after her and Tick had sex. And we see this compared with the blood splitting them from the goat as they begin to exorcise the house. The gag is the bad blood was when they were the most connected, yet emotionally distant, having sex for the wrong reasons, using each other's bodies for the wrong reasons, the wrong intent. Not to bond or to join with you, but to use your body for instant gratification because I don't feel good in here. That's bad blood. The goat is a sacrifice, blood with purpose. They come together, no pun intended, to protect Letty with this blood sacrifice. They bond emotionally, going through this journey together emotionally. The blood brings them together. Now, let's come back. Why do y'all think the spirit only possesses this witch and Tick and not Letty? Why does this spirit get everybody but Letty? Because it could have been easy. It could have been easy. Queen Latifah says, I shouldn't have read that name out loud. Oh, now you got me in my giggle space. Okay. God. Says, I'm not going to lie. When the voodoo lady said Mother Oya, I thought of Umar Johnson. Ron says, Letty does not have a spirit to possess. LB says Letty, because Letty low-key is a spirit. Real Trini says, because Letty died. Britt Ellen said, these are some poltergeist references too. Stardust, because Letty body has previously been dead? Question mark? I didn't see the question mark. Okay, Meek. Meek is M Wisdom, probably because she white partially. I don't know. Janelle says Letty is not alive. Y'all. She not truly alive. Y'all. Here's the gag though. This hoodoo stress called on these evil spirits, and look who came in. As soon as she said they're here, they said we is. The bad spirits enter with the bat that is often used for defense, for heroism, right? We've seen this bat being used as a tool for Black defense and for white attack. The orrery that Hippolyta discovered is gaunt. Who got it? Who has it? Terrible things ensues. This is George's favorite stories. They hit home runs in all their heads. Take them heads off. Baby head. What happened, Schnucka? What happened? Oh, boo boo, come here. Somebody hurt you. Come here, papa. Little baby head. The witch is possessed. LaTasha invokes the names of the victims, of the black ghosts, of the haunted spirits. She invokes their names to come forth. Then Tika's possessed. And Letty calling on the spirits of these haunted people, help me cast him out of this house. You are not dead yet. You can still fight. A message for both the ghosts and Letty. You ain't dead yet, Letty. Get up and fight. You was acting dead when we saw you at the top of the show, but you here now. You have something to fight for. Get it out. Get it out, get it out, get it out. The ghosts healed when they are called on, acknowledged, and given purpose. Because as much as Letty is fighting for them, they are fighting for and with her, right? Let's keep this in mind. They was bothering Letty. They ain't hurt her. We've seen their capabilities. Them races upstairs, they gone. They're gone. The ghost is bothering her. Because the fact is, the spirits in the house were less of a threat to LaTasha than were her white racist neighbors. They didn't want to harm her. They wanted to wake her up. Get up. You ain't dead yet. You can still fight. Get up. They work together in purpose, setting each other free, paired with this beautiful gospel song by Shirley Caesar, Satan, we gonna tear your kingdom down. This ain't Satan, it's the white devil. It's the white devil, Lord. And isn't this the same exact thing in episode 2? Last episode, when Tick goes on making his body the sacrifice, similar to the biblical story of Christ going on the sacrifice on the cross to set everyone free. So you see, Letty was meant to hide up in that bedroom and help Uncle George and not really be involved. But look at the kingdom she crashes in this episode. Misha Green said, "Oh, not on my watch. Lady's a hero, and I'm going to remind you once again, she don't sit back and help people escape. No, look at what she's solving in this episode. She has the same exact adventure that Tick did in episode 2, right? Relying on the ancestors, relying on the bloodlines to kill the kingdom and the masters who inhabit it. And all throughout this episode, we had gospel paired over violence. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We may not like it, but I see y'all going off in the chat. Some of y'all are already saying it. What Black people had to turn to in times of trauma was the church and the Bible and the gospel. Don't forget, adopting Christianity through violence and racism. Can you turn to something that you got through death? Turn to something for eternal life that you received through death? We ain't gonna do it. I'll let y'all have it. Indie Girl 007 says, our ancestors used to call upon their dead relatives to aid them, and it felt just like such a connection for me. Yes. A. Barty was laughing at T being possessed. He said, get out of here, bitch. Shannon Doa says, Lady started and ended with that same tear. Come on, full circle. Come on, full circle. Myra Sheree says, say their names, call upon them, chant, pray, and exorcise the devil. I don't know if y'all sound like that, but I feel like in my brain in this chat is what it sounds like. The ghost knew who she was, the one who could free them. Letty was fearless. That's why I would have took over her ass first. You got to think smart. I'm not saying I'm a possessive type devil demon. I'm just saying if I were, this is how I would do it. It's giving O.J. Simpson. You're going to exercise the people that, you're going to possess the people that don't do nothing. You heard her scream when T got possessed. She said, you terrified. You don't know what sound you're making. You don't know what sound you're making. Like y'all said, this is the complete opposite of how we met her. Look at the emotion that she is able to find. Look at the life that she is fighting for compared to the death that she's just floating through in the beginning, right? Journey Smollett says something incredibly when we saw this performance. Yeesh, that was probably one of the most challenging scenes I've ever had to do. Talk about blood memory. Chile. Just when you thought only white people had the upper hand of magic, we do too. It was just buried. Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? It was just buried. Our magic. Let it be a testimony. Let it be a testimony. Her purpose for the safe havens for the Black community is acknowledged and recognized the way she acknowledged and recognized the haunted spirits in her home, healing the wound of her home. Elevator work. It works just fine now. Nobody's heads come off with nothing, right? And this journalist took her photo, which I would like to see. Watch that photo come up later. Watch that photo come up later. I would like to see that photo. Because if something else is there, who's in that picture with Letty? I would like to see. Okay. We saw these symbols in the elevator. I don't know what they mean, but I remember we were shown a spider when Ruby and Letty were first entering the home during its abandonment. Maybe these are something. I do not read the books. I'm going straight off the TV show. Hold that. We'll be back to it, I guess, when the show tells us a thing or not. Y'all know I love me a dead racist. Y'all know I love me a dead racist, okay? Y'all know I love me a dead racist. And the 3 racists that broke into that home with the 3 bats lay where the 8 Black bodies lay, putting the Black haunted, not even haunted, putting the Black spirits in control. This is their graveyard now. This is their graveyard now. We flipped the script. Now, I wanted to come back to this elevator shot real quick, because usually when you can't see the front of a character, it means they're not telling the truth. They're hiding the truth. They're hiding their identity. And this journalist asked her, you know what happened to them 3 white neighbors of yours that went missing? Here's our final audience question before we get out of here. Is Letty lying, or did the ghost do the work for her? Do y'all think this is actually a lie, or does she really not know what happened to them? Because I will remind you, while she was downstairs, 2 floors down screaming, the racist upstairs was getting their ass handed to them, or their heads handed to them. I don't know. We never seen her see the white folks and the bodies. And would that news come to her? Real Trini says, no, I don't think she knows. Ron said the ghost did the work for her. They think it's really true. Xylan says the ancestors did the work for her to protect her. KS says Letty's lying. She knows they down there. Mara says, I don't think she knows. I think she and Tick moved the bodies. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I honestly believe she didn't see him. I honestly believe she didn't see him. Her and Tick went to sleep upstairs. He ain't got nowhere to live. Her and Tick went to sleep upstairs. And do y'all think Hippolyta took that golden solar system object? Do y'all think Hippolyta took that, or why is it gone? Mara says, you think she would have those families in that house with her in that tunnel though? Shannon Doe says, I mean, you can't really say you got 3 dead white boys in your house. That's very true. That's very true. She would lie about it. Yes. But is her lying to the journalist? Does she know and is lying to the journalist to protect herself? Or does she honestly don't know because she didn't do it? Ron said, now he don't got nowhere to live. He don't. And she ain't charging him rent. That was before she even got the snake. Look, ain't no ghost in this house. You giving me that snake Monday through Friday. I don't care what you do Saturday, Sunday. You give me that snake Monday through Friday. Janelle says, yeah, she got it. It's in a preview. Sorry, I cheated. Okay. What's up? Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. I am JustLatasha. I'll be doing these dissections on LoveCraft Country Live every Monday at 6 p.m. EST. This is our new night. Thank you so much. I might release something cool on Thursday. I'm reworking the Thursday nightly live show. I feel like it should be something else, but it's up in the air right now. I'm going to test videos and see what works here on this channel. Because y'all do not like Thursday nightly. That's fine. That's fine. We'll find something else. Y'all really like to talk about TV, so we'll find something else. But let me know if you like it. Okay? Let me know if you like it. Follow me on social media. I'm on JustLatasha. I'm on JustLatasha. I'm on Instagram at JustLatasha. I am on Twitter at JustLatasha404. Become a patron today. We have extra live streams every Sunday. Those are exclusive. Those are private. Those are special. Just me and my patrons going on about the week's largest topics. This Saturday is my birthday, September 5th. So I will actually not be doing a private stream this Sunday, but we will reconvene next Sunday. Cool. Patreon.com/JustLatasha. Thank you so much. I love TV. I love film. I am a screenwriter. I do have a show coming out, JustLatasha's Interaction Sketch Comedy Series, which I'm starring in, which I've never done before. I know we're watching Jurnee Smollett's acting mastery. Do not expect that from me, but it'll still be great. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So support back art. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. See you later.